Bring your hands to your heart, bow your head, saying Namaste. And say Namaste to yourselves. Just feel that connection with yourself, with your body. And release your Namaste. Stay with your eyes closed. And just feel your sitting bones firmly on the floor. Feel your spine. And place your hands over your knees. So today we're going to do a knees focus, or a focus on the knees type of yoga. And I want you to just feel around your knees, underneath your hands. Can you feel the temperature of your knees? Can you feel if just where you're at, is there tension? And send prana, send the breath towards your knees by using your hands. We are all healers. We all have the capacity to send energy to parts of the body by our intention and attention. Just think of the function of the knee. The knee is a joint that is a hinge joint. And it has the function of bending and supporting. So it needs to be flexible, but at the same time feel strong. And it's quite a complex type of joint. It has tendons, it has tendons that cross behind the knee. And it has the patella, which is at the front. Let me invite you to put an intention for your practice today. We are going to work with strengthening, stretching a little bit, but basically learning the mechanics of our knees to work better with them. And open your eyes, bring your hands to your heart and bow to the universe, saying Namaste. Good, fantastic. So we are going to use to start with either a blanket or a towel, or it can be a small cushion. So if you have a towel, bath towel or a blanket, we're going to roll it into small sausage, like this. We're going to put the support on the floor. So hopefully you can see me. I'll come closer and lower the screen. That's it. So we're going to sit with one knee over the support, just one. And as you can see, it's not like a huge support that I have. It's only small. And what we're going to aim at to start with is to warm up the thigh and the knee joint gently. And we're going to start just tensing, feeling the thigh muscle engage and relaxing. Tense and relax. Tense and relax. That's 3. We're going to aim at doing a total of 10. That's 5. That's it. Feel the thigh muscle, feel it. Good. And once you've done your 10, give it a little bit of a clap. Our muscles need to be strong, but at the same time supple and able to relax. If your thigh muscle is constantly tense, you will be pulling onto the knee and that will bring pain. And we're warming up at the moment, so just go gently, bring the towel to the other side. And make sure that your sitting bones are firmly on the floor. I love feeling my muscles work when I'm exercising. So maybe you want to also put your hands onto that thigh muscle. And it's amazing. The thigh muscle is like an elongated heart shape. You can feel how it engages. So in here we're engaging mainly the front of the leg. But obviously we need to also use the back of the leg. So that will be the second half of what we will do. Good. And when you've done your 10, bring the blood back to the surface of the skin. Good. And now bend both knees, and with your fingers, we're going to massage underneath the knee and around the knee joint. So this will release a little bit the sides of the muscles that come all the way from the hip onto the knee and hold underneath the knee. So massage with the thumbs on the knee joint, and you might find places where you go like, ouch, and that's where you need to breathe and get it released. Good. Go to the other leg. Same thing. That's it. Very good. When I'm doing knee massages, sometimes I like to do it as I'm taking a bath. So what happens when you're taking a bath is that you're supported, you're leaning back, and you can bring the leg up and just massage it without having any tension being held. So you can always try that. Good, lovely. And we're going to come into standing. So we have primed our thighs for a bit of work. And now we're going to make them work, make the legs work. If you have any issues with balance, I would advise you to have nearby a chair or a wall, yeah? Because what we want to focus is on the legs without wobbling. So if you have good balance, then there is no problem. But if your balance is a little bit iffy, have a wall, feel free to hold, from a fireplace, from a bookcase. We're going to make a small step. So bring your left foot forwards and your right foot stays back. So this is a step similar to the step that you will make if you walk. Maybe walk onto your mat a little bit. Just feeling your feet on the floor and feeling how your leg is moving. I have a blanket ready as well so that later on I can support my knees when I'm kneeling down. Lovely. Now look at your feet, check that they are hip distance apart and parallel to each other. So if you tend to step with your feet facing outwards, try to see if you can bring your feet towards each other, not towards each other like completely pigeon-toeing, but just parallel to the edges of the mat. And from there, have one step forwards. And bring your hands onto your lower abdomen, your hip, and just move a little bit side to side. We don't want rigidity on the hip, we want fluidity in the whole body. Good. Now, the back leg, the right knee. Bring your hands onto your hips, trying to keep your hips square towards the front, but not just for awareness, not for alignment. Bend your back knee and straighten. Bend and straighten. So the movement is really small. Now bend and stay there. And you might feel the front thigh and the calf muscle working. And now we're going to straighten as slowly as you can. But can you straighten without overstretching? Can you straighten in a way that your hamstring and your thighs are both supporting your legs? And it feels like a sense of comfort from a hug, from a strong handshake, that type of support on the leg and the hip. Good. Now transfer your weight onto the left leg and lift the heel on the right foot and lower down. If there are any issues with the feet on here, go slowly, but this is a nice, not weight-bearing stretch for the toes and the feet. One more time. Good. And release. Stay standing there for a moment. Bring your arms up. And just stretch up. Feel both feet firmly on the floor. And maybe you want to look up, arching your upper back. And then release. Soften both knees. Fall forwards. And you can bring your hands onto your knees. Or you can bring your hands towards the floor. Towards the floor, you will feel it more on your hips and your lower back. Onto your knees, you will be using the hamstrings and the front of the thighs. Try going between one and the other and see what feels that is achieving a bit of strengthening onto your legs. Sometimes when I bring my hands onto the floor, I feel that I can use my muscles more efficiently if I push my hands onto the knees and pushing back onto my hips. So just observe what's the reality for you. Now, if you can't reach the floor, you can hold onto a chair or a sofa or whatever you have nearby. Can you from there straighten a little bit and bend? And straighten and bend. One more. Straighten the knees and bend. And bring the right foot back to aligning with the left. And roll it up into standing. Your head is the last thing to come up. Bring your arms around and up. Inhale. Exhale. Release. And shake it. Just feel the difference between your right and your left leg. We're going to go into the other leg. The practice today might feel slower than what we are used to. But when we want to really listen to the body, we need to slow down so that we can actually get that awareness of what's happening. Check that your feet are parallel to each other, hip distance, and make a small step with your left leg forwards. Right leg forwards, left leg back. That's it. I thought that leg worked already. Good. And your hands can be on your hips. If you already got it, you got that alignment, you can have them by the sides. Just see where it feels more supportive for you. And lift the heel. And bring it back. Lift the heel. and bring it back. Focus on your breath. Use your Ujjayi breath to deepen this practice. Bring it back. Now bend both knees. Bend the back knee and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend both knees, the back knee and straighten. Now bend both knees and bring your chest forwards. So the back heel is on the floor. This is a stretch for your Achilles tendon. Bend and straighten either with the hands onto the thighs or onto the floor. And you don't need to go completely straight. We are just activating the left hamstring and seeing how we are faring. And release, bring both feet next to each other. Release your head, release your body. And then roll it up into standing. Your head is the last thing to come up. I would even do the arms up. Inhale, arms up, stretching towards the sky. And exhale, release. One more standing posture. We're going to step a little bit wider than we just did. Stepping forwards with the left leg. A little bit wider. And this is when you might want to use a wall or a chair to help you hold yourself. Hands onto your hips or by the side or in the wall, wherever you feel that is best. Inhale, lift both heels and bend both knees. Bring it up and bring it back. That's it, good. Inhale, bring it up. Bend both knees. Bring it up and down. Now, if you feel strong and your legs are working well, we're going to try and come close to the floor. This is a strengthening asana, but you don't have to go all the way into kneeling. Bring it back and back onto the floor. You might feel that you want to widen your stance a little bit more. Coming onto the toes, bending, straightening, and back down. That's it. Last one. Bring it up. Keep that pelvic floor in and up to help with your balance. If you can, stay there for a moment. Bring it back up and release. And bring your hands behind you. Hold onto your elbows. Inhale, open your chest. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Feeling the stretch on your left hamstring. Maybe the inside of the left leg as well. Breathe. Feel the feet firmly on the floor. Push your feet away from each other. Now, be aware that your front knee should not be overextending. We're going to come up. If you need to micro bend your front knee, do that. And bring it up into standing. Inhale and exhale. Feet come towards each other. Shake your arms. Wag your tail. Have a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Very good. Okay, so we're going to go on the other side. Bring this time your left foot forwards. No, your right foot forwards, left foot back. I changed sides so that you can see the legs from a different perspective, and I get confused. Remember that this time the stance is a little bit wider than before. It's wider than what a step would have been for you. Hands onto your hips, contract your abdomen, your pelvic floor, and we're going to lift onto the balls of the feet and lower. Lift and lower. on these movements, we are strengthening the calf muscles. Hopefully you can feel them. Good, now we're going to lift. Bend both knees. Bring the body up and lower down. Lift into the balls of the feet. Bend both knees. Bring it up and down. One more, and we're going to stay if this is available to us. Lift, bend, and stay there for a moment. Then lift, release. Grab hold of your elbows, maybe crossing your arms in a different direction to what you did before. And keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Let your body release towards the floor, feeling the stretch on the back of the right knee, the hamstring, and the left calf muscle. Imagine that you're pushing the mat away from each other with your feet. Now we're going to come up, softening the front knee a little bit to come up into standing without overextending the front knee. And release. Shake your arms, shake your legs. Shake it all around. Good. We're going to do a little flow, a sun salutation B. And I want you to really observe how you're going during your sun salutation. In sun salutation B, we have a few postures that are very demanding for the knees. One of them is Utkatasana. So Utkatasana is chair pose. And on chair pose, we are always told to have the weight over the heels and bend the knees and have the knees covering your little toes. Now bring your hands onto your hips and just do that. Follow those instructions for a moment. And you'll probably not go very low. So I want you to allow yourselves not to go very low. If that feels okay, then this can be your chair pose. You can even lift your toes from there. If you feel that you're strong and you want to go deeper, chair pose is also called fierce pose. Your back should be strong, your arms by the sides of the head, shoulders are away from the ears, and the legs are working really, really hard. And inhale, bring yourselves up. We're going to do it twice more. And I want you to feel what's right for you in here. Inhale, exhale, Utkatasana. That's it. If you feel that your feet together will be more beneficial for you, then you can bring your knees together, feet together. Feet apart, give a bit more room for the lower back and the hip flexors. And release. One more. Inhale, exhale. Utkatasana. Can you experiment going a little bit lower? But don't stick your bum out. Keep your back straight. And then let your belly rest onto your thighs or maybe your forearms. Just shake it a little bit. You can have your hands on the floor or hands onto your shins. Shake, shake, shake. When we shake like this, we're bringing warmth onto the muscles. Now inhale, Uttanasana. Uttanasana is forward fold. And when you do the forward fold, sometimes if you have very flexible knees, they will go straight back. Try not to do that. Try to imagine that the front thighs and the hamstrings are both supporting and hugging your thigh bone and your leg. Shake your leg, your head, not your head. Relax your shoulders. For those of you that suffer from neck and shoulders issues, this position, if you find the right balance on your legs to support you, and you breathe, you will bring decompression on your neck. Inhale, straighten the legs without overextending, and straighten the back. And as you exhale, bend your knees, hands are by the sides of your feet, and bring your right leg back into a low lunge. Push your back heel away, and open your chest. Place your hands firmly on the floor, left leg comes back into plank. Then bring your knees onto the floor and drape your body down towards the floor. Chin is on the ground, hands are by the sides of your chest. Inhale, shoulders back and down, and have your elbows going towards each other. Press your thighs onto the floor, press the tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale, bring your chest up into a baby cobra, not very high. Just feel your thighs on the ground, feel your knees on the ground and your feet. That's what we're focusing on. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes under and come up into your downward facing dog. You can come from through your knees. Inhale, look towards your hands and walk step by step towards your hands. Find that Uttanasana again, releasing your upper body. Finding balance to hold yourself in here. Inhale and exhale. And release your elbows, come all the way up into standing. Bring your arms around and up. And exhale, hands towards your heart. Lovely. We're going to do the other leg. One thing that you can use if flexing your knees is a little bit tough is putting a little face towel or something behind it. It's difficult to maintain it when you are doing the sun salutation, but for child's pose it's a good thing. Inhale, exhale, hands towards your heart. Feel your right and left leg, feel the difference between the two, and bring your arms back and up into Utkatasana. Breathe, check your alignment. Have your gaze soft and release. We're going to do it again. Imagine that you have a chair behind you and you want to aim towards the chair, but not quite sit on it. So somebody's pulling from your fingertips and your sitting bones are going back, trying to find that chair. Keep your arms by the sides of your head. And release. One more. Inhale, arms back and up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Can you go lower? And can you rest either your forearms or your fingertips on the floor? And just shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake your legs. You can shake it with your hands on your thighs or on the floor. Good. Now, Uttanasana, forward fold. Make sure that you're not overextending your knees. You can grab hold of your elbows and feel that balance between the front and the back side of the muscles, helping you to stay in the position. Inhale, extend your legs completely, extend your back, neck is long, and exhale, And bring your left leg back into a low lunge. Take a moment to feel that low lunge, trying to bring your chest up and your hip down a little bit. Push your back heel away. That's it, good. Now bring your hands onto the floor, bring the leg back into plank. Knees softly on the floor and lower yourselves down. Chin onto the floor. Hands by the sides of your ribs. Your hips are firmly on the floor. Thighs, front of the feet. Then when you inhale, bring your shoulders back and down, elbows towards each other. Engage your belly. And inhale, come into baby cobra. You don't need to push hard into your hands. Just stay where you can lift yourselves just with your back. The hands are there to support a little bit. They are pressing down towards the floor. The elbows are going towards each other, but we are not overextending our back. Feel your thighs on the floor, knees on the floor. Exhale, release. And tap your toes as you come up into your downward facing dog. Keep your belly in. Maybe for a little change, open your feet the width of the mat. So it's a wide-legged dog. And walk the dog from this position. Try to find some liberation on the sides of the body, backs of the legs. And look towards your hands. Walk your feet towards your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Softening your knees. Grab hold of your elbows. And release your fingertips. Straighten your back, straighten your legs. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, release. Good. Just close your eyes and feel both legs. Feel your hip. If you're tensing, just wiggle a little bit to release. Lovely. Now open your eyes. Last standing posture, and then we're going to go onto the floor. This is Prastadipita Padottanasana. And this is a wide-legged forward fold. So we've been working on the front and back of the legs. Now we're going to stretch the inside and the outsides. In Prastadipita Padottanasana, we are bringing the feet parallel to the short ends of the mat, and we forward fold. There are three of them. One is folding forwards with the hands on the hips. The other one is folding forwards with the hands behind your back and bringing the arms overhead. And the third one is holding your big toes. I will invite you to fold forwards with your hands between your legs, just to focus on the knees. But if you feel that you want to focus more on your shoulders or your upper back, then this will be a very nice way to release. So bring yourselves into a wide-legged position if you're not there yet. Good. Inhale, hands onto your hips. Look up towards the sky. Feel your feet firmly on the floor, and then really slowly hinge from your hips and come halfway. When you're halfway, bend your knees a little bit. So your knees are bent, your sitting bones are pointing backwards. And deepen into that fold. Deepen and feel the inner thighs, getting to work a little bit. And then bring your hands onto the floor. Fingertips are on the floor. Your knees are bent. If the floor is too far for your hands right now, you can use a block. If you don't need a block, just fingertips on the floor. And bring your right arm up. And release. Left arm up. And release. Working with the breath. Right arm up. And release. Make sure that your neck is long. You don't need to look forwards, left arm. Now, if you can, bring both arms up. Feel that strong connection with your hamstrings and the thighs. One more breath. And exhale, hands onto the floor. Straighten your legs and release your upper body. Breathe deeply and let the whole of your upper body go down towards the floor. You can bring your hands between your feet and bend your elbows to help you come a little bit lower. Inhale, walk your hands in front of you, heel toe your feet towards each other, and come into a gentle squat. If squatting doesn't feel right for you, you can just come onto the floor. We are coming onto the floor. I was going to do something else on this squat, but maybe for next time. Time is flying. Good. So we're going to give a little massage to our calf muscles and hamstrings by lying on the floor and having the forearms underneath and bouncing our shins. We're going to be lying down, so I'm only demonstrating like this so that I can see you. But we're going to be lying down. And to start with, the forearms are underneath the knees. You're just rocking a little bit, feeling back, having a nice massage on the floor. And then you can take your fists and put them along your hamstring. And when your calf muscle comes down, you will feel that massage on the calf. And if there is an area that feels really tense, you can just focus on it and wiggle your fist onto your calf muscle. And then massage the calf a little bit. Use a strong, firm stroke for yourself. Good. Bring your feet onto the floor. We all know the shoulder bridge. So in shoulder bridge, we're doing a back extension, but at the same time, we need to use our thighs and our knees. If your knees are not happy knees today, have your feet a little bit further away from your hips than you would normally have them. If you normally bring the heels to touch your hands, give a little bit more room. Have the feet away from your hips. And the head is resting on the floor, shoulders away from your ears. Press your arms onto the floor. When you press your arms onto the floor and your hands, you're immediately making your upper body lighter. And now release. And feel the difference. Press against the floor, arms, shoulders back, and then release. One more time. Pressing down, opening the chest. Now press the feet onto the floor. Tap your tailbone really slowly. And engage your glutes to come up into your shoulder bridge. Your hands are still pressing down into the floor. And then release down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale, arms push down. Your chin is towards your chest. Your feet are firmly on the floor, using all of the muscles that you can to help your body undulate between shoulder bridge and resting on the floor in a neutral position. One more time, bring it up. And stay there. If you want, you can bring your hands up to your lower abdomen just to find whether your hips are stable. And this might be enough. If you feel that you want to go a little bit further, bring your weight onto your left leg, release your right leg, and bring the right foot at the same height. The leg comes in a diagonal without rising it all the way towards the sky. Foot on the floor, right foot down. Keep your hips lifted. Change the weight onto your right leg. Left leg extends forwards. Your knees are at the same level. And release. And release down. Take a moment. Rest your knees against each other. Breathe. And hug your knees. Bring your nose between your knees. Making a ball with your back, with yourselves. And then bring both knees to your right hand side. And come up. We're going to turn around and lie onto our bellies. This is when I'm going to bring you a little bit closer to me so that you can see more close up. You need to drink water. Please always keep hydrated. And if you have issues on your knees that might be caused by maybe arthritis or inflammation on the knees, drinking room temperature or warm water is better than drinking cold. And add a little bit of ginger into it, which helps with calming pain. And a slice of lemon, maybe a bit of honey if you want. Those things are always useful. So we're going to, can you see me okay? Yeah? We're going to come onto our bellies. And rest the forehead onto the hands. In a moment, you will have to lift the forehead to see what we're going to do. But for now, just breathe. You might be able to do this without having to look up. Bend your right knee and just rotate your ankle, rotate your foot so that your ankle gets a little bit of moisture. Make sure you go in both directions. Yes. Now, keeping your head relaxed, your shoulders relaxed. Start flexing and extending that right leg. And see if you can feel the muscles that are working to have that movement. Lovely. Now keep the knee bent. Contract your gluteus muscles and see if you can lift the knee off of the floor. And then release and release. You might feel that it's a bit almost like cramping. If you're cramping, it's probably because you haven't drank enough water, so don't force it too much. We're going to do it again. Bend the knee, press the hip down and lift the knee off the floor. It won't be a big lift. Release and release. One more time. Inhale, bend the knee, Foot is flat, parallel to the ceiling. Press the hip towards the floor, lift the knee. Release and release. Good. So we strengthened our hamstrings in there and our glutes. Maybe you felt it as well on your lower back when you were lifting the knee. Let's go to the other side. Bend your left knee and keep your head relaxed, your eyes closed. Just feel that wonderful machine that we are. The muscles working as you bend and extend. Now, on the next time you bend, press the hip down and lift the knee a little bit. Release and release. Bend the knee. Press the gluteus down. Lift the knee off the floor. You won't lift very high. Release and release. As you know, you will get out of it what you put into it. Put attention, intention, and feel the muscles working, and the body will retribute. And release. Good. Shake your hips. Lovely. Now we're going to go into all fours. I like padding my knees so that they don't feel too demanded upon. This is a hard floor, so the yoga mat is not enough. Lovely. And we're going to do a similar exercise in all fours. Let's release our backs by doing a bit of cat-cow. Chin to chest. And then open up. And do any moves that might feel right for you right now. Great. So bring your right leg back, toes on the floor. Keep your hips aligned and parallel to the floor. And point your toes, lift the leg. Bend the knee as you flex the foot and push the foot up. Bring it back to the level of the hip, point the toes as you stretch the leg, flex the foot and release down and release. Lots of instructions. I'm going to show you again. Just go with what you can and take your time. I show you from this perspective. Maybe you can see also the movement of the foot. So the left leg comes back, toes are on the floor and the heel is pushing away. Your hips are still square. Support yourself with your hands and your legs. Bring the leg up and point the toe. You can check. It's not the same to have the foot flexed than the toes pointed. Bend the knee, flex the foot, pushing up. Bring it back to the hip level. Point the toes as you extend. Flex the foot and lower. And bring the legs back to center. Is that clear? Let's do it again. One more time, just one more. Right leg back. Lift and point. Bend and flex the foot. Pushing up towards the sky. Back to the hip level. Point as you straighten the leg. Flex as you release the toes onto the floor. And release the other side. Flex the foot as you push your heel away. Lift and point. Flex the knee, flex the foot. Lift, engage your hips. Extend, pointing the toes, lower, flex the foot. And release. Lovely. And we're going to come into a child's pose. If you have a blanket or a towel, I want you to try and put it just behind your knees. Just to try a different thing. So if you have a blanket or a towel and you put it behind your knees and you sit in hero's pose, you will feel a real strong massage on your calf muscles. My message with this knees workout is you need strength, but you also need the muscles that are around the knee to be relaxed, because otherwise, if they are in constant tension, your knee will feel pain. So we need to do all of it, strengthen and then rest. And now come into a child's pose, whichever child's pose you feel is most agreeable to you. You can have cushion underneath your forehead. We're winding down. And inhale, bring yourselves up, sit onto the side, take away your blanket, and lie into a comfortable lying down position. You might want to be resting facing upwards. You might want to rest facing downwards or sideways. You can choose. If you rest sideways, it's nice to have a cushion between your legs and your head supported so that your back is straight. Just choose your resting position. As you're at home, you know that you can take advantage of it and stay resting. You can also have, if you're facing upwards, you can have a cushion underneath your thighs or your knees to release any tension on that area and on the hips. Make sure you're warm. As you inhale and exhale, bring your attention to your knees, the space around your knees, above your knees, underneath them. And imagine that your breath can turn into a healing color. What color will your healing breath be? And can you send it to your knees and all the way through your calf muscles, ankles, feet and toes? And the healing breath comes up through the thighs, hips, lower back, middle back, upper back. The whole of your chest and your arms. Your neck, your head, your hands are relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. And give thanks for your knees, part of your structure. It's what takes us places. We're coming to the end of our session. If you wanted to stay lying down, you can. If you want to sit up to do the Oms and Shantis with me, you can do that as well. So wherever you are at, just make sure that your back is long, your neck is fluid. Inhale to begin, inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Bring your palms together. Rub your palms. Make the movement a little faster and bring your palms over your face. Inhale deeply. Open your eyes to the darkness of your hands. Slide your hands to your chest and bow your heads. Namaste. Give yourselves a clap. I hope you like that and that you practice it. It's good to get the right structure for the knees. Namaste.